Hi, this is Scott Rocknack, and I'm running for State Senate District 12. This is a very quick slideshow, fast-moving slides to give you an idea of what happened during the NOAA scoping meeting on the 5th of October. The testimony started with Governor Janet Mills, and she essentially walked into a buzzsaw. She was greeted with anger from the crowd, and she returned the anger briefly, but then channeled her anger towards the powers that were affecting the Maine lobstermen. And at the end of her remarks, she was greeted with polite applause. Following her talk was Senator Susan Collins, who went into detail on several of the issues facing the Maine lobstermen, and she was greeted by applause throughout her speech. And then she was followed by a representative from Senator King, who was not able to attend, followed by Congresswoman Chellie Pingree, who read from a prepared statement, and she discussed her experiences as living on North Haven and what the economic damage would be to the area. And then Jared Golden spoke of legislation that he was planning and also personal contributions in terms of donations he's made towards the MLA and another organization. Governor LePage was greeted with thunderous applause and a standing ovation, and his remarks were interrupted several times with applause. The event was also attended by House District 1 candidate Ed Thielander and House District 2 candidate Bruce Poliquin. Following Governor LePage was again, Ryan Post spoke again, deciding that he wasn't going to cede his time and take it anyway, and it was to the amusement of the crowd, and he didn't hold anything back. So that began the night, and several lobster men and women and their families and marine biologists and other concerned parties came forward and spoke. And the interesting thing is we had several young people present, and what is of interest is this is an industry that is still attracting youth and has youth to fill the positions. And in a state where this is a major issue of finding people to work and retaining youth in the state, we have an industry that is doing that. And here we are potentially damaging or destroying that industry. Their statements were heartfelt and hard to ignore. Other lobstermen and women that spoke gave their personal stories, gave their take on the regulations, on what they're doing, their experience with their traps, with their fishing, the fact they've never seen whales or never seen a right whale, they've seen humpback whales perhaps, and not having any known tanglements in their gear. They question the logic and wonder why the true science wasn't being followed. There was a main actor that in my mind carried the night. He essentially poked some holes in the whole reason why this thing has started. Again, that boils down to the scientific model. And he also questioned the Marine Mammal Protection Act, what the differences between a northern right whale and a southern right whale. His statement's been entered into record, and in fact he went overtime and he was encouraged by the crowd to keep on speaking. And so that was very interesting, and there was a marine biologist that also spoke. All in all, the night was, I think, very eventful and fruitful, but the big thing is for the people there is to remember that their statements need to be in by the 10th of this month. It's important to realize that these folks work long, hard days in an adverse environment. Certainly a takeaway from this event is that the lobstermen are stewards of their environment, and they are caretakers for their future generations. And they want to survive, they want to flourish, and they want the environment to flourish.